Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my September 2024 TBR. So, I have a lot of books sitting next to me, and this is the never thing that I want to read, but there's no way I'm going to read everything. So this is really a pile of possibilities, and I am going to participate in series September, which is put on by Krista at Books and Jams, and Sarah's Nightstand. So I will have their announcement videos linked down below. I have participated in this every year, so I think this is year 4, something like that. There is a bingo card to do with genres, but I will do it if I feel like it. Right now, my main concern is to focus on series. Again, I do that all year round. I'm very much a series reader. But it's nice to look at what series do I want to make progress in, which ones do I want to start, which ones do I want to complete. I just need to make some decisions on some books as well. So that's kind of what September is going to be. So there's only one book I have to read. It is a series book, so it counts. And that is Wanted, Undead, or Alive by Carolyn Sparks. This is book 12. I think it's 12 in the Love It Stakes series. I'm reading these with Berna. Berna's book is Adventures. We have been really enjoying this paranormal romance series overall. It starts out with vampires, and the world kind of expands as the books go on. We are following Phineas. I'm so excited. Dr. Love, and we get his story. I have no idea how this is going to go, because he is one of the funny side characters. And so again, I'm really glad that he gets his own book. But we'll see how this goes. So again, we're going to do this probably early. We were doing the first week of September. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that book is the only one I have to read because I have a buddy read. Another book that I want to get to at some point in September. I was hoping to get to it in August, but unfortunately I kind of went down a rabbit hole of Alexander Dumas. Anyway, so, Tad Williams' Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn is my favorite epic fantasy series. This is the continuation, The Last King of Ostenard. This is book 2, Empire of Grass. So I have read this when it came out, but I'm doing a reread because the fourth and final book is coming out in November, and I haven't caught up with the series to be ready for that. So I'm doing my reread. I did Witch Red Crown last month, I think. And then I'm going to do this one in September because, again, I didn't get to it in August. I'm just not going to have time to get it done. So I'm going to do this hopefully in the first couple weeks. We'll see how it goes with my audiobooks. But I do want to do this reread because I do have the audiobook by Andrew Wincott, which are really good. Anyway, so that is the only reread that is for sure. Although the next section I'm going to talk about is books that complete a series, and I might reread the first book in this duology. I think this is Bound. Oh no, Bound to Fire and Steel. So this is by Kit Rocha. It's a duology. The first one was Concert of Fire, which I read last year, I believe. Was it last year? I'm losing time here. Or earlier this year, I can't remember, but I read that and I really enjoyed it. But I want to I think I might want to re-listen to the audiobook before I read the second one. I've read so many books since then that I don't remember all the details. So, and there again, so I might read this. This is a fantasy romance series following Ash, who is kind of like the Dragon Lord, and he is in charge of this area, and the humans they have to, what is he doing? I don't know. They have to give up somebody to be his consort. And so she has sent Sasha, or Sashi, I don't know how to say her name. And she goes with her handmaiden, Zanya, and it becomes a bit spicy, and they have the first, kind of reluctant allies, kind of enemies, kind of ish to lovers thing, and it's a triangle, but they're all together. It's good. It was really fun. I love Kit Rocha for spiciness and stuff, so I'm looking forward to finishing off that series. Finishing off another series would be Tessa Dare's Do You Want to Start a Scandal? This is technically the end book to Castles Ever After as well as Spindle Cove. I don't quite sure how they cross yet, because it's been years since I read Castles Ever After. The first 3, was it 3 books? Yeah, and then I couldn't read this one because it was connected to the Spindle Cove series as well. So I went back and read the Spindle Cove series. So I'm finally to this last book. So I don't know how it connects both of them, but I'll finish 2 series with 1 book. Anyway, it's a historical romance, Regency-ish, or yeah, I think it's Regency period. I don't even know if they're in Spindle Cove. So that's why I'm like not sure. But usually Spindle Cove is, you know, as a place where many women who are kind of exiled from court, either on their own because of something that happened or because they want to be. And they're in this small town where a lot of women have gathered. And then Castles Ever After is a series where some young women are gifted homes by a mysterious benefactor. And then it's their story of what happens when they get those homes and people that are there. And some people expect them there and some don't. Anyway, so of some of those. Anyway. And then there's other things going on. Anyway, I'm looking forward to reading that historical romance and finishing those 2 series off, because then I can move on to a few of her other series that I haven't got to. I also want to finish off the Dangerous Damsels series with the last book, The Secret Service of Tea and Treason by India Holton. So I do have the audiobook out from the library, so I'll need to get to this probably the first week of September as well to get this done. But these are funny historical kind of they're Victorian time frame, but they have flying houses, there are witches, there are pirates, there are people, they're just, the wittiness in here is really funny. They're really it's a funny tone. You'll have to like the humor. I enjoy it. It's really fun and just wacky and just some of my favorite kind of stuff. So it's just, I'm enjoying them. This is the 3rd and final book in this series, so I would like to finish that series off and get that done. Okay, so then that's ones that I can complete series with. Here are a couple that I think I'll read that will help me continue a series that I'm in the middle of. So I will probably try to read one more of the Argano Vampire series. Oh, I don't know what number I'm on. I'm on 13, 14? I don't remember where I'm at. I'm still in the teens. Like, I'm like low teens. So this is Hungry for You. And I don't know the characters in this one, like, I don't know going into it. So it's a vampire paranormal romance, and they're all funny with sexy times and things, but they're fun. And again, the world the characters keep expanding, the family, the Argano family. It's fun. I like it. It's one of those series that I'm way behind on that I want to catch up and finish. I also want to continue reading Shifters Unbound series by Jennifer Ashley. White Tiger. I don't know what number this is. I should have looked this up. I have too many books in my brain. Let's see here. 1, 2. I don't know. Is it 8? I think it's 8. Anyway, so I'm still only halfway through this series. I've read a lot of novellas in this series, and then I think I've read 7 novels. I'm pretty sure. So I think I still have, this is number 8. So I have quite a bit to go, but this is, shifters who, have been 20 years before were rounded up when they were discovered, and they are put into these shifter towns, and then we're following shifter towns in different areas. One is in Austin, Texas. One's in Las Vegas. And then one is over in North Carolina, I believe, by Asheville. Anyway, so they have these, there's a kitty kicks me. Anyway, so this one follows Kendrick, who we met in some of the one of the novellas that came before this, Bear Attraction 6.5, and now we're going to get his story. And he is one of the rogue shifters who did not go into a shifter town, but he is also a guardian who is kind of seen as their kind of shaman of the shifters in this world. And I really enjoy this series. Again, it's paranormal romance, and it's fun, and again, different couples in every book, as a lot of these are, but it's just, they continue, the world keeps expanding. So we'll see how this one goes. I do want to get to that. And then right now I am reading book number 5. But if I want to pick up another of the Dragonkin series, book number 6 is How to Drive a Dragon Crazy by G.A. Aiken, aka Shirley Lawrenston, who is one of my favorite comedic writers. I just love her stuff. They're just bonkers off the wall. This is fantasy romance, kind of more old school, but these are dragon shifters who are kind of in clan wars with some other dragons, and also have, you know, allies who are other dragons and other things. So I really enjoy this series. As I said, I'm reading book number 5 right now, so I might want to continue to book number 6. A book that is just the only one that's out next. It's book 2 in the Assistant to the Villain series by Hannah Nicole Mayer. This is Apprentice to the Villain. So I do want to read this really soon. I mean, I don't think I'll get to it by the end of August. So maybe by the time I get this up, I'll be reading it. But I do want to get to this. This is on the list of books I want to read. I just haven't had time. As I said, I went down a rabbit hole with Dumas, which I'll explain in a minute. Anyway, but this is a fun fantasy. It's kind of more on the cozy side, but we're following what is her name? Evie, and she becomes through circumstances becomes the assistant to the villain, and the villain has his own reasons for his backstory of why he is considered the villain and who he is against. And it's just funny because they're like, it's like a like an office environment for the villain. It's just cute. So at the end of book 1, there was kind of a cliffhanger of things to happen. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I did reread Assistant to the Villain, I think in July. I think so. I think I reread it then. I don't remember what day I read. August has been kind of a blur with things I've read. So I don't know. I did reread the first book, so I will continue on with that. I do want to get to that fairly soon because it is a new release. And then one that's, it's a maybe. And I just want to put it on here just because of how I've been reading this week. Or this last week, and because I went down the rabbit hole of the D'Artagnan romances by Alexander Dumas, with the beginning of with the Viscount de Bragelonne, Louise de la Valliere, and The Man in the Iron Mask. And so I might pick up The Red Phoenix by Alexander Dumas. So this was the last book about the Three Musketeers that he wrote, but it's not about the Three Musketeers themselves. It's more about Cardinal Richelieu and the King and Queen and stuff that were from the Three Musketeers. So it's kind of like a side, and there's a new main character who is driving, or pulled into the whatever's intrigues are going on in this. So this is again a classic. This is adventure. It's just I might pick this up, but I'm not gonna guarantee that because it's massive. I mean, it's massive, and it's not complete. But there is a short story that he wrote many years before called The Dove that's technically has the same characters, and it's kind of an end to the story because it's later. So I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna happen this year, but I don't know if I'm gonna feel like doing another book this month. Okay, so really quickly, I have a few books that are first books in series that I want to do. The Curse of Chalian by Lois McMaster Bujold is a book in the world of the Five Gods, I think. So I've been reading the Pendrick and Desdemona novellas as they, after I caught up on them last year. I've been reading them as they come out. This is a book that takes this series. It's a trilogy that takes place within that series or within that world, but is separate. And I've had this book on my shelf for, I don't know, a really long time. I actually realized that she was the one I went and saw at, when I went to San Francisco one time for a signing with a friend. I couldn't remember who I saw. It was for this book, or one of her books. And so I think it was one of her later books in this series, but I bought the first one and then she signed it. So I need to read this. I've had this. It doesn't say what date on it, but I'm sure it's over because I have been not living in California for over 10 years. So I need to read that. And again, I don't know anything about it except that it's fantasy. And I, again, as I said, I really liked her Pendrick and Desdemona series. So I'm hoping to like that series. I do want to try to read House of Bane and Blood by Alexis L. Menard. So I've heard really good things about this on BookTube, and it sounds like it's steampunk urban fantasy, so that's kind of up my alley with fantasy elements. I just love that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping this will be a win for me. So I'm hoping to get to that. And then I have 4 books that I'd like to try to get to decide on series. These are all books that are from my 24 in 2024. I am behind on this list, so I just want to make a little bit of progress in September because a lot of them are, all the books on that list are series books. If I can get to more of them, I will, but these are the ones that I would like to try. The first one is King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. So this is, I think they're, I don't know if they're vampires or they're just a fantasy romance. I'm not sure. I have this and I think I have the audiobook. So I might try that. I have From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I don't know if I'm up for starting this big series, but I also want to try it because I've had it. I bought it last year and I was like, I should try this book. Everybody talks about it. So that's a fantasy romance. And I don't know. I'm trying not to think too much about it. So I don't know too much about it, except that it's big. We'll see how that goes. I also have The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. I have been wanting to try this book for years. I have the first 2 books that I bought years ago, used, or I don't know. I got them pretty cheap anyway. So I have the first, so I want to at least try it to see if this is an epic fantasy series I want to read, because again, my epic fantasy is kind of iffy if I like it or I don't like it. And I hear that, this is kind of structured kind of funny or a little different than others because one person's telling a story and then another one is saying, no, that's not kind of how it's really, this is how it went. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get along with it, but I really think I usually like those kind of things where it kind of does a kind of twist like that. So we'll see how that goes. I want to at least try it. And then I would like to read another Nora Roberts trilogy. This one is the Dragonheart Legacy. This is one of her paranormals or paranoras. And I have all the books on my shelf. So this one is more urban fantasy, and but it, I think there has to do with another world or something else. I'm not even sure. But it has a portal to Galloway, so it's somehow Irish. So it sounds fun. So those are all the books that I might get to. I'm not sure what I'll actually read. As I said, the only 2 I'm for sure going to try to get to is, again, my buddy read will be first, and then Empire Grass. I really need to do that reread in order to be ready to read Into the Narrow Dark in October. So but everything else is kind of up. I have so many other books I could read, so many other series I could touch. As I said, I'm in the middle of a lot of series, and I have a lot of series I could start. So I only brought over, 6. Yeah, is that 6? Only 6 new, first books in series, but I have like hundreds. Okay, I'm exaggerating just a tad, but maybe over 100 at least. I don't know. I have a lot of first books in series, so I could go in any direction. So anyway, have you guys read any of these books? Are you guys taking part in series September? What are you guys reading? What are you looking forward to in September? I just have so much reading to do. I just want to get to everything. We'll see what I can accomplish. And, again, I do admit that I'll probably read something that's not on this list just because my mood has been doing that. But I'm almost positive it'll be a series book at least. Like, I'm going to try to keep most of my TBR to series books, but again, there might be 1 or 2. There's a library book that I might that might come in it's a standalone, but everything else I hope to do is everything else a series book. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.